So I thought about wearing a suit for this review because Kingsman and all, but it's really hot, man. So Kingsman, the Secret Service, is about a spy organization called, well, the Kingsman. They do what your typical spy organization does and save the world from evil bad dudes trying to do evil stuff. In this movie, the bad dude is played by none other than Samuel L. Jackson, who talks kind of funny because he has a lisp in this movie. Yeah, he actually talks like that. I'm not even making that up. Maybe not as bad as I just did it, but something like that. The senior Kingsmen are played by Colin Firth and Mark Strong, who both do a phenomenal job at playing their characters. Colin Firth, who's usually in, you know, the rom-com type movies, he's actually really surprisingly really good in this movie. I think he got the whole Liam Neeson thing done, you know, like Liam Neeson didn't used to be an action hero before Taken, all these movies started coming out. And now he's in every action movie, every coming out, and like he has another movie coming out like called Run All Night or anything. But anyway, not enough about Liam Neeson. Colin Firth kicks ass in this movie, and he seriously does a great job of doing it. The main guy, whose name I can't really remember, also does a really good job. And you see him become, you know, from like some random street kid to a full-blown Kingsman throughout the movie, and you know, that entire journey, which the movie is pretty much about, is the most interesting part. Becoming a Kingsman and Samuel L. Jackson trying to destroy the world. But this movie is seriously awesome. Like, there's a scene in this movie that is, in my opinion, the equivalent to the Quicksilver scene in X-Men Days of Future Past from last year. And I'm talking about this in like its sheer awesomeness level. Like you know, when you saw that Quicksilver scene, you were just like, you mind blown, and this is pretty much the equivalent of that for this year so far. The way the scene was directed and the fact that he had Freebird as the backing track just completely blew my mind, and I think everyone in the cinema enjoyed themselves when they saw this scene. I'm not gonna say any more, but when you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But to be fair though, like pretty much all the action scenes in this movie are really well done and really entertaining to watch, from the initial bar fight with Colin Firth that you've seen in a couple of trailers, to the final fight between the Kingsman dude and Samuel L. Jackson's right-hand man, or should I say woman, because it is a woman. It's kind of comic booky, and actually I think the action director for this movie is the same guy that worked on Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. So it has that comic book element to it. This movie is, I think, based on the comic books, so it definitely does have those comic book elements present in the movie. Overall, it still maintains sort of a realistic tone, and it's still very entertaining to watch. What I'm trying to say is it maintains the comic book feel without going too over the top comic booky. So the acting is great, the characters are great, the direction is great, the action scenes are awesome, and I definitely have to give props to the music selection that really fits well with all the different action scenes. So whoever chose the music for this movie, that guy did a fantastic job. Oh, and if you didn't know, Kingsman was directed by Matthew Vaughn, who directed X-Men First Class and Kick-Ass, so definitely a good director. And if you like those movies, you should definitely check this out because it does have some of that style in it, and that comic book style, which Matthew Vaughn seems to be really good at, and I hope he continues making these kind of movies because they are really good and they're really enjoyable to watch. So without that, definitely go see Kingsman, and it's definitely one of the best movies of the year so far. I'm excited to see it again, and I probably will. So, and if you have seen it, let me know if you enjoyed it as much as I did in the comments down below. And remember, if you like this review, please hit that thumbs up button, subscribe for even more reviews, and I'll see you guys next time.